Shoba. I'm a lawyer and I live in Lagos, Nigeria. You already know here we share about legal topics that have to do with the everyday Nigerian. And I'm doing this by sharing hot topics, traveling, movie scenarios, and also interviews. If this is something that you think you're going to enjoy, do make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, like, share, and comment. And we're going to get straight into today's video. So what's today's topic about? The little things that all of us do that we don't even think about will have big legal implications. Writing, documentation. I'm going to start with your everyday interactions. First tip I'm going to give you, everything you want to do should be documented, okay? Make sure it's written down. Thank God for technology, so you can write it in a WhatsApp chat, in an Instagram chat, in an email, preferably. I mean, we prefer contracts as lawyers, but anything documented is going to work for you. Why do you need this? Because what that tells you is when there's a disagreement, you can always say, this is what I said. This is what we agreed to. This is at the fees I agreed to pay. I'm sure a lot of us have experienced it, as simple as that bus that you got on this morning and you and the conductor were like, I'm going to Obale Day. It's 15 naira he told you were going to pay. Then he switched his mind and did not want to give you your change because he said it was 100 naira. Imagine if it was a different country where you pay with the card. You already know when you get on the bus, it's $1.50. That's a transaction right there that is legally binding, okay? So your everyday interaction, a tip is document it. That way, if there's ever a conflict, you have something to fall on. Hopefully it never gets to court, but at least you can talk to parties and say, look, the first thing is that it gives you power, okay? So the person can then say, I said I didn't say, because it's documented. Let's go into a contract if you're getting more serious with your activity. Most of us, what I've seen in practice, number one, you don't even do a contract because we're friends. Because, oh, the deal is going to go away. So what do? You jump in it. Either you spend the money or you receive the money. And then 3 months down the line, you're calling my phone. I won't pick it. Okay, I'll pick it, don't worry. You're calling my phone and you're looking for legal help. Why? Because you didn't document it properly. Either because there's zero contract, or there's a contract that isn't signed, or that you didn't foresee. So what are my tips today? Make sure to get a contract. We always advise that you use a lawyer. Of course, it pays our bills. It also saves you. But if you don't want to, things for you to check for. Make sure that you have a date. Make sure you are clear on what the agreement is about. Make sure your names are correct. Make sure you cover other people as well, depending on what you're doing. So if it's a company and you're going to do services, make sure it covers their agents. If it's a land you want to buy, make sure it covers other people that may also have a right through some other way. The next thing to make sure you have is be clear. I like clarity. I just said that. So whatever you're trying to do, if it's a thought in both your heads, write it down. Why you use lawyers is because we can foresee as many scenarios as you cannot and put that in. So say for example, I want to buy a chair. What if I don't want to buy the chair anymore? Is there a clause that deals with that? Is there a return policy or non-refund policy? Most standard companies have this, and so they tell you, if you do this within this, it's free. If you do this within this amount of time, then you pay a percentage off. Make sure to do what? Document every possible scenario. The third thing to do is make sure there's a clause that talks about what law is governing. Sometimes you don't have control over this because we're so international. What if then in the US, you're in Lagos? Cover it one way or the other, okay? Make sure you're that detailed. Is it a Nigerian law that's going to protect you? Do the US law? Think about the cost if that ever comes up. The next thing to also consider is maybe put an arbitration clause. An arbitration clause simply means that, look, we don't want to go to the courts first. Arbitration is faster, it's less structured, and it might give you a solution faster, okay? The last thing I always see, sign your contract. Now that you've gone through this work of doing all this detailing, then you can see names within signatures. Make sure that all the parties involved sign the document. This protects you in ways you will not believe until you have a conflict. The other thing, of course, that I wanted to give you a tip on if you are going through day-to-day activities is, say for example, you can't do what we just said. So it's not a land, it's not a serious transaction, it's just you and that Instagram vendor. How do you somewhat protect yourself? What I always say is make sure to check and double check, okay? Make sure to be sure that, is this a real person I'm paying to? Is this a company? If it's a company, how am I able to get my money back if I don't? I know that Instagram, for example, has such a bad rep for people selling products that are so useless or disappearing with money or creating fake accounts. Make sure that you're protecting yourself by ensuring that you do some research on what you're about to do. Lawyers sometimes can't help you if there's nobody to call. If we don't have an address we can go to, if we don't have a name or a person we can go and look for, how are we going to solve that problem? Okay, we're not magicians. We simply help you get the solution. The other thing I want to talk about as a tip for you in your daily dealings is to make sure that you know what your name is legally. Okay, so casual, so hard. I mean, a lot of us are used to affidavits so that we can just say, oh, I'll correct it. No. Tip, if you're doing a contract and your legal name usually is on your birth certificate or on your international passport. Usually I find that people opening bank accounts, you'll have had that issue, is you switch your names around and then you can't operate your account because your ID name is not the name on the form. Okay, so make sure you write your name how you are legally identified. Okay, or you go and change your name to represent it as how you're indicating it. You're going to save yourself so many hassles by doing these few tips I've shared with you today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you subscribe to the channel. I hope you like it and turn on the notification bell. Leave me a comment, ask me questions, and give me tips on things you want me to share with you. Again, my name is Ibukun. I'm a lawyer. Disclaimer, I'm not your personal lawyer, so these are tips that you should always get a professional to help you with. But again, if you don't have the funds, these few tips are going to help you improve your life, save you a lot of money. Have a nice day.